welcome to Through Black and White Eyes. It's a look ahead. It's a little bit early, but it's the only night we had free to do it, with the game being on Sunday. And obviously, Burnley play tomorrow night, so it's hard to tie this man down. But I'm looking forward to getting this show on the road. Before we do, though, let's just get the usual spiel out the way. Please consider becoming a member. Link is in the description. 99p, 199, 299. And if you do, got a chance of winning one of these bad boys. Absolutely beautiful powder coated metal Newcastle sign. We've only got 6 left to sell, I think, as well at £40, but we're giving one away for free. Can you believe it? Bob's your uncle. Get it done. And consider becoming a subscriber as well. We are free away from 4,000. Hit the thumbs up button as well. Absolutely amazing. Right, let's bring the boys in. John, as always, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome.
I'm looking forward to this because we have the man himself, Turf House Moore. I'm very nervous, Turf House Moore.
I am very, yeah. I've been saying to everyone all week that it's been squeaky bum time too many times this season. My arsehole's like a chewed orange.
Absolutely.
And that's nothing to do with being ginger, by the way.
We're just waiting for Qatar to get out and just start playing a song for her as well. Oh man, all jokes.
He's from Yorkshire, not Burnley.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, I'm definitely from Lancashire, born and raised.
And just to let you know as well, we have got one eye. We all 3 of us have got one eye on the final between Frankfurt and Rangers. Some lovely scenes before the game where Frankfurt fans were attacking Rangers fans who were trying to have a beer in the garden. Didn't go how it planned, and the Rangers fans looked like they fought them back, and even though they were outnumbered by about 3-1, just goes to show you, never mess with a Scot, especially one that's trying to drink his whiskey. Never get in the way of a Scot, ever. Right, we'll cover a bit about tomorrow night, because obviously that is really important for you guys. You've got Villa. What are your chances?
I'm hoping Villa will take it easier, in a sense of that, okay, they beat us 3-1 literally a week and a half ago, so maybe they're thinking, okay, we didn't really have to get out of second gear in that game. You know, can we take the foot off the gas and still get a result? Yeah. Conte's rumoured to be out for 12 weeks or something, so that's a big player miss there for them this season. A couple of knocks in the Villa camp, which is always good to see. And hopefully it's just a nothing game for Villa. I think, if anything, put out your B team, your under-9s, whatever. I think Gerrard, if anything, should have one eye on trying to help Liverpool by beating Man City on the final day. So, not the Burnley game. Just that's just in the way. Just get it out the way. Play your youngsters.
Love it.
But it's a must not lose for us. It's a must not lose. We need to get something because with Leeds still being a point in front. I can't believe they've nicked a 90th minute goal against Brighton. It's bad enough getting beat, but then having to watch that game later, and Danny Welbeck should have had an hat-trick, and then Pascal Struijk comes up with that in dire minutes. It's sickening.
The twists and turns at the bottom of the league this season. Obviously, I thought Everton were dead and buried, and then we give them 3 bloody points at Goodison, which should never have happened. Then they beat Chelsea. It's like
they gave them 3 points.
They give them 3 points. So you take those 6 points away from them, and they'll be looking sick. And that's how we wanted it, to be fair. Even though there is some nice Everton fans out there, don't get me wrong, I do talk to a couple on Twitter that are
1 or
actually
2.
decent. 1 or 2. Like, Rangers are in? Nope. But yeah, the rest of them can all, But yeah, I really do hope you guys stay up, to be completely honest with you. I hope you get something at Villa and really put the pressure on Leeds, because there are rumours that we can get Phillips for 25 million if Leeds go down. So there's an added bonus for us, isn't it? So, right, a couple in the chat here. So I can't pronounce that name. This guy's McCroy. Is that how you pronounce it?
McCroy, yeah.
See, I wouldn't pronounce it like that at all. The Crocs, if I would go for. That's how it's spelled.
It's McCroy. It's French.
There you go.
Playing in Germany, though.
He needs a few little commas on his name, doesn't he, to make it look French? Barry, this guy's the next Van Dijk. I know I showed you Botman, but this guy is 21, 6'4", and fast and at the back. So
very fast defender.
And then John replied, he's the best player on FIFA, which doesn't result in being the best player in the world, though, to be fair, but there we go. Nice to see Thomas in the house. Harry, everyone, enjoy the show, but keep the tone civil. No spamming, please, and don't shout in the chat, which means all capitals. And also, please consider hitting the smash the like button. It's really, really important. And subscribe to the channel. Like I say, free away from 4,000. It's incredible. Heatseeker says, good evening. Geordie Bill says, evening all, how are the lads? Evening all. They all stop talking to each other, as you can see. And then we're all glad to hear that everyone's well and dandy, which is good. Right. Burnley, you're at home. You're playing Newcastle. It's the last game of the season. Technically, we've got nothing to play for, but we actually have something slight to play for, which is the best points total could have had in like the last 9 years. So Eddie Howe, being the man that he is, he's going to want to try and get those 3 points. I know you don't want to hear that, but have you been impressed with Eddie Howe? Do you think he deserves manager of the season, or do you think it should go to Klopp?
No, I think Eddie Howe should get it. He's turned my perception round of him, to be honest, because when he was at Burnley, it was always very attack minded. It was always just let's just say it was.
You saw that at Bournemouth as well.
Yeah, if you score 4, we'll score 5. We'll always get one more than you, sort of thing. And it worked for him in a sense. It did work for him in a sense, but we needed to be a bit more shared up at the back. And I think he's done that with Newcastle. You've even looked a bit better at the back. Prior to that with Bruce, it was very shaky. But yeah, he's done a solid job, and I can't fault him, to be honest. And I just hope that he's watching, he's listening, and as I say, fingers crossed. Well, I hope he does as a solid. Him, Chris Wood, Trippier, we've all had an affiliation with Burnley. Even Jeff Hendrick will be in the background now that he's come back from QPR, saying, "Come on, lads, come on, don't be tight."
I love it. I'll tell you why I think he deserves manager of the year, and there's some great stats put up on Twitter, so I've obviously stole them. But before Christmas, 18 games, 10 points, minus 23 goal difference, ranking 19th in the Premiership. After Christmas, 19 games, 36 points, plus 4 goal difference, 4th in the Premier League. That is just unbelievable. So there's only 3 teams ahead of us on rankings in 19 games. And you mentioned the defence, a 4+ goal difference for us, where we've got battered a couple of times at Spurs, in Liverpool, not there, in Man City. So there was, 10
goals there,
9, because we scored one against Spurs, didn't we? So that could easily be a lot better as well. So, and I know I'm being biased, but I think he deserves manager of the season, unless Klopp does the quadruple.
Yeah, I said that on Twitter. Unless Klopp,
you can understand that. You can understand that.
And Champions League, then it's got to be Howe.
Well, exactly. No one's ever done the quadruple, so if he does it, he definitely deserves it. I mean, even the treble as well, you're still pushing it in his favour. But
with the Champions League, possibly.
But again, for me, the Champions League, it's a European thing. This is a local, this is a UK or English vote. Sod Europe. Doesn't count in my eyes. Exactly. Even guys, hope you're well, says Ken, and then start talking to each other again. On top half of the table bars, possibly, yes, we could finish top half as well.
Mathematically,
it's still possible. Mathematically possible. Top finish, that's that to play for. And then was it 2.5 million a place?
Yeah, 2.5 million a place.
So there's FFP money there to be had. Agree, Thomas. So watch out, Burnley. But again, I mean, there's a lot of people who put a bet on in Newcastle at about 250 to 1 to finish in the top half of the table. So they're all going to be sitting onto their betting slips on the last game of the season, praying it comes in. They could be winning a couple of grand, some of them. It's absolutely mental.
I took 100 quid
Did you cash out? Did you?
When we were ninth, I was like, "That's it. I'm doing
Yeah.
it." We had some tricky fixtures coming up though. So
Well, we did. We had Liverpool and Man City.
Liverpool,
So
Man City, Arsenal. I mean,
I don't blame you for cashing out. I would have cashed out as well, to be honest with you. But there's Steve in the group, one on my Facebook. Sorry, not Facebook, Twitter group, and he put I think about 20 quid on it or 25 quid on it, and he had a £300 cash out. I was just take it. He's like, "Nah, I'm letting it ride." I'm like, "You must have more money than sense." So there is a possibility that people are going to win a lot of money. We finished 9th. I said 12th at Christmas. I said 14th. So that could still happen as well, couldn't it?
Well, I said that Burnley will finish 13th at the beginning of the season. I was down and out by the end of August.
Yeah.
I think I said 17th, so we're doing better.
Yeah, I mean, we all said let's just finish just out of that bottom three, and then we'll be happy. And we've obviously
to be fair, everything that's gone on with Newcastle this season has just been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like the takeover, the belief, just everything that's happened in such a quick space of time that maybe everything's going to die down over the summer. It's as much as you're expecting a bit of a heavy summer in terms of transfers. I just think that the realism of the task is going to be to get those players in early, get them to gel, find out a way to play, and end of the day, I don't see why you can't contend for constant top half finishers next season, flirting around the Europa.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It all depends on who we bring in. Keeping Wilson fit. I don't know if you watched the game against Arsenal, but Wilson was absolutely superb.
His tooth's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, he's had it done.
That was horrendous, wasn't it? And they didn't show a replay of how it happened, but I think it was one of his own players, or it was a scuffle one there around the ball, and then suddenly half his tooth bloody hanging out, and it was massive tooth as well, wasn't it? You could put a couple of pound coins in between that one when it came out.
Are in here.
They are, aren't they? So Frankfurt is skipping through Rangers. Keeper saved it.
I don't know how he's still playing. He must be 50.
Box, he's curled it. A keeper saved it.
That McGregor, he's got to be getting on a bit now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So let's have a look. I need to ask you this. What do you make of our displays? Obviously, war flags to us. They keep knocking it out of the park. And this was the last home game of the season. The full stand was involved. They had United down the side with the goal, right? And they used a photograph of one of the winning games. Probably, I think it was the first photograph they ever took.
It was the first one, yeah.
Yeah.
Against Burnley, fully enough.
But do you like that sort of thing when you're at a ground and the atmosphere gets going through the crowd? It's crowd-funded as well, by the way, which is even more superb. Everyone's putting their hands in their pockets to fund it. Then there's about a group of 12 people, I think, in War Flags who put it all together. They ask for help to set it all up the night before of a game. Are you all for that sort of thing, or do you just prefer to get into the ground and everyone does their bit by singing and chanting and all that sort of stuff?
I'd love to see stuff like that. In fact, I've been one of those that there were once when I was working with a different page before going alone. I was me and a friend at the time. We actually sat down with the SLO of the club,
right,
and we had a meeting, and they took down our ideas, and we mentioned about having, some sort of club flag that we can, or something that we can put
like
up.
A surfer flag.
Yeah. Just put it up prior to kick off, as the players are coming out, things like that. And then once it gets to game time, we'll take it down, we'll hand it to a steward nearby at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then the club put it to one side until the next match day. Then one of us will come collect it, get it out, and sort it all out. But they said, "Oh yeah, that sounds all right," because it sounds like you've thought about managing the idea and the concept of it and stuff. And then that's when the SLO went, "Well, we don't know about that because we've got a strict flag policy," and then you're just like, right, okay, next idea. And sometimes you just feel like you're talking to a brick wall.
Yeah,
like you're trying your best to want to up the ante in terms of atmosphere. Because we even tried to dumb it down and say, listen, like something like that is minimal. We're not saying that this flag's going to be about being passed around and people are going to be an idiot with it. We're going to pass it back down to a steward so the club can put it away for the next home game. It's not that we're going to turn up with a flag. The club are going to own it. The club will get the final say on the design. The club will get, give it the go ahead if that's okay. We've said it'll all be in your hands. But yeah, as I say, this were probably a good 6 seasons ago. But there's been a lot changed at Burnley since, so I don't know. There might be a bit more scope to speak to, but we'll see. We'll see. But I loved it. Seeing the togetherness. Yeah, you can't fault it. I mean, your chairman at the end, even after they'd done the stadium, and he's just jumping in with fans, giving them all hugs. And I'm just thinking, this is a guy like Alan Pace now. Okay, we're like, okay, he's come in and he's put some fancy LED lights around Turf Moor, but you can't polish a turd, can you? But he's come in and he's ripped all the Sports Direct shit out. He's like, right, get rid of that. Fans hate it. Get rid of it. Remove it.
Wash the windows.
And
exactly.
Took to court over it as well. But
pay the court. He's put Shearer back where he belongs.
He's just like that. I don't care if what mistake I make. Pocket money, mate. Here, take your money, bugger it. But it's good that you've done all that. It's good that you've done all that. You've renamed it back to Shearer's Bar. It's Shearer's back outside the Gallagher end. Fantastic stuff. Your owners for me, but just plainly off this season, have got to be up there with Leicester's.
I agree, and they get so much crap because of where they come from. It's a shame, but
I mean, Ripon's such a terrible place.
Brilliant. It's nice to hear that someone appreciates what everyone outside appreciate the flags and stuff like that. Some fans just think, well, it's just a waste of money, but
they outdid themselves on the.
It was just special, wasn't it?
Hell of a display.
The thing is, you don't think of it if you're in the stand and you're holding this flag up.
Yeah.
You don't think of it, but when you look at it back and think, hold on, I rolled in that flag. Look how special it is. You got fans singing while this flag's being waved around.
Yeah.
It's iconic that you see 16, 17 people waving a giant football in Champions League around semicircle, and you're all like, oh my God, that gives it a sense of realism.
Yeah,
so if you've got a flag in the stand, that's going to be even more because you're a massive part of that.
Yeah. And Borussia Dortmund do it. They've obviously done it for years, and they've the yellow wall's been the best and what everyone's trying to eliminate. And I think our fans are getting, the war flags are getting close to it. I don't think anyone can ever outdo Borussia Dortmund, to be honest with you. I think they're just amazing. And I would love to be in that end for one game. Hopefully still have my life after 90 minutes, but it would be incredible. But they're getting up there with it. And I mean, it's the time that they take to do it and the thought process to put into it as well. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, like last week they had David Kelly scoring the goal to keep us up, and big quote, you can't put a price on that goal, and you couldn't at the time, but now you can.
I was at the game. It was another brilliant atmosphere.
Exactly. Here's a good one. Any news on Shaw? Not heard anything. And then
he can't play for 7 days, can he? Because
exactly.
Rules. Can't play, can't train. 7 days. I think they say
6
now.
days. I think someone's put in
6 or 7 days.
What's that? Is that for concussion?
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it, but he went down and he didn't move, and it was quite worrying to start with. And Kraft ran over and grabbed his tongue, and did the.
Oh yeah, I've seen the picture where he looks like he's trying to remove his tongue. Yeah.
So
he wasn't. He was trying to get a tooth for Callum.
Sorry, he's dead.
He's going off. Callum, here's a tooth.
Brilliant. He's saying we'd rather have Everton go down instead of Burnley. There we go. We're all on your side, to be honest with you. I hope you survive, and I hope for you that you can get out of this relegation crap every year. It ain't no fun for anyone. We know that very well. Well said, Thomas. And we do know it very well. We're lucky to get out of it. But unless you spend money, it's going to be quite difficult. Heatsika, I heard that because of concussion rules that you can only train for 6 days, so won't be available for Sunday. So that means Lascelles will be playing on Sunday. Mind you, he had a good game when he came on against Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I'll probably have game of his life on Sunday.
Yeah. Cheers, but he definitely needs a rest after that. He doesn't. I mean, it was a horrible. Like I say, I was really worried for him. He just laid out flat. Talking to M. Cashley, he means, all right. Hey, Spider, even Spider, all talking to themselves. Now, are Burnley going to be able to bounce back if they go down? There's a good question for you.
No.
So?
No, I don't think we will. I think we've got an aging squad. The Championship is so competitive. You guys will have known that. I mean, you've done it the hard way. You've managed to get promoted with Andy Carroll in your side, which is, that's a history note in itself. But to be honest with you, yeah, it's such a competitive league that it's great to be in. It's great to be involved in, but it's so difficult to get out of.
Yeah,
and I think these players that, as Dash used to call them, seasoned pros. No, they're called veterans. Sure, get used to it. They're getting too old now. Won't be able to keep up with the pace of Saturday, Tuesday every week. And for me, I think that's what will bite us in the backside. Not just that, but financially, we'll have to cut the people's jobs.
Yeah.
Big players like Pope, McNeil, Corney, they'll all be off. And then it's a major rebuilding process. But we're also rumoured that there's some sort of debt that if we get relegated, we have to pay up front next season off the bat. If not, we don't have to pay it till 25-26 season. So we've got a bit of scope to do it. So that's the thing with football, though. It's risk over reward, isn't it? And it's so easy to just look at the 11 on a pitch and think, as long as they do the job, but everyone behind the scenes as well is what matters. As I say, for me, Alan Pace took a ballsy move. That guy must have giant balls for doing what he did and sacking Sean Dash.
It's worked out for you, kind of.
I was going to come on to that and ask you about it. I mean, it is a massive risk. I mean, you've been at the club for what, 8 years, Dash? 8 or 10 years?
Just coming up 10 years. It was 9.5, just coming up 10, yeah.
He kept you mid-table for most of the Premier League. He managed to find a few gems. And Chris Wood was a gem when he first came to you from Leeds.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You can have him back next season.
Yeah, you'll be back when you go down, yeah.
We'll give you Hendrick free as well.
Go down. Hendrick apparently is rumoured to be going back to Burnley as well, potentially. But it was a massive ballsy move, but one that paid off straight away. I couldn't believe the football you guys were playing.
It's strange because the football hasn't changed as much. It's just that we've gone from playing head tennis to actually putting the ball on the floor. And the word that's banded around the stadium at the moment by the players themselves is freedom.
Yeah,
they've been allowed to be a bit more expansive in the movement. They've been allowed to run into these pockets of space where Dash has just wanted you to lump it forward, or one or two people. Yeah, like there's one or two people will get forward, but you've got to be solid in your position.
Yeah,
and it's good that we've been able to sort of free roam a little bit because the Villa game, as much as we got beat 3-1, we had the better chances. We had, we've gone from having 30-odd% possession and like one shot on target to having about 6 or 7 shots on target, 16 shots on target in one half, and you're just like, whoa. But the only problem is for a team down there, that says it all. 16 shots, 6 on target, and it's the big chances that you need, and we're not putting them away, and that's what's biting us in the arse.
If only you had Chris Wood.
Oh God, no! This is a guy who says, at Burnley, I'm in my comfort zone, and you don't do your best work in your comfort zone. I'm not being funny, but if your comfort zone is tucked up, wrapped up in that sleeping bag you cut that we all call the offside flag, you lazy shit. Then that's fine by me, mate. Fine by me. He talks out of his arse, but he was good while we were at Burnley. I will give him that.
But he had a good striker alongside him who took the physical battle on, didn't they? And he just seemed to pick up the loose change, is the best way to describe it, without being too derogatory to him. But I mean, you can have him back, to be fair. He's done the job for us now. We don't need him. We now go bigger and better. Talking about offside, though, John Wilson was starting to drive me nuts on some Monday night. He was offside more times than Pape Cisse in that first half.
He was. I mean, I said on Twitter or some, I think it was Twitter, that we'll catch them with one of those. We'll catch them with one of those. And to be fair, he did get around the back of the defenders for the goal, didn't he? So
he did. He just stayed onside.
But for me, a striker, you've got to try them runs, haven't you? You've got to keep going, keep running, because one of them will come off. It's just part of the game.
This is true.
And the Arsenal offside trap.
Yeah.
Trust the process and all that.
Yeah, used to love it back in the day. Dixon and Winterburn and all them lot. Here's a little bit another that I really enjoyed seeing at the end of the game. Everyone was still behind, and not all the players, families, owners, everyone was on the pitch in front of the Gallagher to do that final picture of the home season. Like you mentioned, togetherness, and that's what it shows in this picture, and it's absolutely brilliant to see. Never seen it in my whole lifetime, to be honest with you. I've seen parades around the pitch at full time, on the last game, but I've never seen them do what they did. And this sort of sums up the season for us, just a few little pictures there. And Bruno's just been unbelievable since he came
What
to
a
us.
signing he's been.
It actually feels like every time I watch the game play, it's his game and everyone's just following him. He's that good.
Yeah.
And
He's too good for us at the minute. Too good for us at the minute. But
he is, because if you
hopefully
look
we'll
at
bring
his
players
stats,
in at that level.
and when he was in France, he managed like 1 or 2 goals. He's now got 5 for us, I think it is. 3 assists. It's mental. He's just.
My only hope for you guys is he doesn't have sort of like what we had with Maxwell Cornet, where he came in, he started brilliantly, and then all of a sudden he just falls off.
Yeah.
Because Cornet started to do that now. We're starting to see he's offside all the time. He's not in the right positions. And you're just like, for Christ's sake, this is a player that looked like he was better than Burnley, and now it's almost like, okay, you found your level, you shit.
I don't think Bruno's that kind of man, though, is he? Apparently his attitude is just second to none in training. He's the kind of person who's so nice off the pitch, but when he gets on it, he's a different animal. He'll do anything to win.
For him to say that I want to be at Newcastle and become a club legend, that's massive. And fingers crossed that them words don't come back to haunt him if there's ever a rumour and he starts playing Billy Big Bollocks.
Yeah.
Real Madrid are after him, apparently.
Yeah.
Stick to Yuri Tielemans. He's on a free. Stick to them. Let Newcastle keep Bruno.
Ooh, Rangers nearly scored there. Great effort.
They did, yeah.
Just go past the post. It didn't.
I mean, it looked closer,
Did.
but when you see it in slow motion, it's quite far away. But yeah.
Yeah. I think that means about Burnley not being able to bounce back up. Hi to all the mods. Keep up the great work. Yes, definitely. Thomas says, cheers, Spider. And Heatseeker is obviously our new mod as well, and he's doing a great job. It was nice to see Newcastle and Arsenal fans drinking together in the early hours of the morning and no trouble whatsoever. I mean, I heard about some trouble before the game, but that might have just been a bit of a myth. And it was nice to see the 2 fans getting together and having a good drink. So it's always nice when that happens. Caitlin or Nick hopes Burnley stays up, but we will beat you, so we'll need to beat Villa tomorrow, which I feel you can do. So yeah, you've got to beat Burnley. You've got to beat Villa, sorry. Newcastle are their fighting season a long time back. It's grown into a modern club for fans, family and football fans all over the world, no matter who sports who. Very good to see. It is. I mean, I've drunk with Brentford fans, drunk with Brighton fans when I was up. Every game I've gone to, you go into the pubs and you can mix now. It's not like it was back in the 80s and early 90s when it was full of shit. It's actually a really nice atmosphere these days. Hopefully the 25 million for Wood helps towards that debt.
It will do when we get the other 12.5 million, yeah.
I love it. Bruno, future captain, that really could. I could see that, especially after Trippier. Trippier will be our captain next year.
Trippier will be captain, yeah.
And then when he retires, Bruno will probably take it over. What do you think of the media attention all on Arsenal failure to get fourth and nothing about Newcastle? Talksport, very poor. Talk shite is what I call it. We used to it, and it
won't be like that next season
for Arsenal. It won't be, no.
I'd rather that though. I've enjoyed that as a Burnley fan, sort of just going under the radar. Everyone talking about these big clubs, and you sort of just go about your business doing what you're doing, because all of a sudden you start getting the attention, and it's a bit like it can just derail your thinking process and stuff. But you know what, you spot on. Talk shit, definitely, definitely. Talk a lot of bollocks.
They've had to eat the words a few times this week, though, haven't they? Which has been a pleasure to watch. Apart from
Alan Brazil looks like he's eating too much. Never mind words. What's he on? Potato spaghetti, like potato alphabets or something.
Brilliant. I don't know if you saw Obonglaho's tweet. He's like, he's been doing a bit of boxing with Laura, and he said, the next time you're writing a message to me, check out the size of these guns and these shoulders and stop typing. I thought, you fucking prick. So I messaged him straight away saying, all right, so this is what we're doing now. We're resorting to violence. Maybe if you stop talking shite about Newcastle, we wouldn't need to message you. What a dick. It's both tonight, by the way, Baz. Oh, both watching, of course. One might have been at work. I don't know. 200 mil release clause for Bruno minimum. Looks like Longstaff has been watching Bruno. Great through ball. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Longstaff because Johnny was, 50-50, splitting fans, probably 75-25 to say people want him to leave. Obviously, we know he signed a new contract for 3 years plus one. Hasn't been released yet, but it will be very, very soon. And I'm happy he's staying because you can't just rip the whole squad out and play Football Manager and replace it all in one summer.
He had his best game probably for 2 years against Arsenal. That through ball was something else. Something else. If Bruno had took it, everyone would be raving about it. It was that good. It was really that good.
If it wasn't for the keeper being so alert and off his line, Wilson would have had a one-on-one. But Ramsdale has been in superb form, so it's the only reason why he got to
England's
that.
number one, I hope.
Yeah, definitely take over little arms.
although Pickford's probably been Everton's player of the season.
Well, yeah, I mean he's had his moments, hasn't he? But he's had some dodgy moments as well. This final is not that bad, by the way, between France.
No, it's end-to-end, isn't it?
A good game, yeah. I'm actually quite enjoying it while I'm talking to a legend of Burnley.
I was going to say,
Donald in the background.
Called him a legend.
Hey, everyone needs to support your channel because it is fantastic and you're a great guy.
Because the numbers alone, I need you all. That's what it is.
Exactly. He's begging now. He's begging, guys. But definitely deserves it. He talks sense, and we always enjoy our conversations and having him on because you're a good laugh.
I wish my missus were as nice as you, Baz. Fucking hell.
What can I say? I'll grow my hair longer if you want.
Why not? I'm prone to cupping a pair of bollocks. Don't worry about it.
Brilliant. Well, let's talk about what you think the team's going to be on Sunday. Obviously, depending on how tomorrow night goes and if there's any injuries. But this is what you think: 5 at the back, wing backs.
Yeah.
Is that an attacking 5 at the back, or is it a defensive 5 at the back?
I think probably a defensive 5. I just enjoyed. I've gone for the same lineup that we had against Spurs. Apart from I've put Weghorst in instead of Barnes. I just think that we were solid. I think we were very unlucky against Spurs with the situation that happened. It was just a bit of a kick in the dick. We definitely deserved something from that game. And I thought we played some really good football as well. So if that's not against you and we back at Turf Moor, back in a 4-4-2, I can understand it, but I completely switched off when you asked me about this Newcastle game and switched off from the Villa game and thought, let's go for the same lineup against Spurs, and then thought, oh shit, we play Villa between. But yeah, I'd take the same lineup, or the same formation in particular because it worked really well, and I think all the players played well in their roles as well, even having a right back at centre back.
It also depends what you actually need, because if you beat Villa tomorrow night, you're 2 points ahead. And then you only need a draw, don't you? Because of goal difference. So you could be in that catch-22 situation that no one likes to be in. Go out and get a draw, and then you have that mindset of playing for a draw. Then you end up getting beat 1-0, like Newcastle did against Villa all those years ago.
We've got to be careful. We do have to be careful. As I say, tomorrow's game is a must-not lose. Sort of a must-win, but every game's there to be won. But we just can't lose tomorrow. That's the main thing.
2 massive cup finals for you.
Oh, without shadow of doubt.
How well's McNeil been playing as well before you go onto our team?
Yeah.
He's,
you know what? Funny you say that, because under Dash, he had the one good game, one or two good games where you'd see those moments of brilliance, and then now he's just come on leaps and bounds. It's almost like, as I said earlier, freedom to just, run at players, try and get in. Although he does hold a very horrible record for the fact that, he's had a lot of chances at goal and he's not been successful. But that's all it takes, though. We've seen that with many a striker over the years where they've had, shots left, right, and centre. They've been shit, and then they get the one and they go on a run. So it's a bit too late in the season for that to happen now, but he's been decent. I like the positions he's been getting in as well. He's not been as lazy as well, where usually if he lost the ball, he'd be very hesitant. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm frustrated with himself." Where now it's almost like, "Whoa, no, I've got to win that back. The second ball is key. Let's do this." And I think all the players are prepared to die for each other at this moment.
I think on his day he's one of the best crosses in the league, to be fair.
Oh yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
And I'd like to see him in the England team, but I don't think he will. But he's
not while he's at Burnley, unfortunately.
But the last since Jackson's come in, I mean, he's been one of your better players for sure.
Is he the main danger for us on Sunday, or is Kone going to be the main danger? Depends who Kone turns up, I suppose.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's probably he'll be back now, but he just flew out privately back to France because his missus gave birth. So
congratulations to him.
But he did. he did fly back today, saying time to go back, 2 massive games. So I'm glad that he's coming back. I wouldn't blame him if he was staying out there at the birth of his first child.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if he's there and he's up for the cause, why not? So.
Do you not think it's very disrespectful to Burnley that his wife hasn't given birth in Burnley?
Yeah. Yeah. Bruno's wife gave birth to a Geordie.
Just throw some irons in the fire
there. It's called Shearer Guimaraes. Future number 9.
I love it. But Kone is she weighed £9. But joking aside, Kone is someone that we looked at in January and said, if Hughes go down, he's someone, why Burnley ended up with him, we don't know. Such an unbelievable price.
Yeah.
He's a good talent. He can score goals. He has missed a penalty and missed a sitter, though, which could cost you, but hopefully it doesn't. But he has been your inspiration this season, hasn't he? And his injury was bad timing for you as well.
Yeah, it was. It's just recent games, as I say, that he's been a bit of a poor performer, and I don't know whether that's because. I don't know. I think I look at it in 2 ways. That are people just thinking because of how great of a success it started that they're expecting that game in, game out.
Yeah.
From a fan level, we expect things every now and again, and you can't expect that same level week in, week out. Maybe it was just that people didn't know how he played. Yeah, I've said this about Dash a few times. He's brought players in and they've started off brilliantly and they've gone shit. And it's because he sort of dumbed them down to Burnley's level instead of bringing Burnley up to that player's level. Yeah. Where now that we're playing football a bit more expansively, we've got fans from other clubs that were like, while Dash were there, fucking Burnley dropped, piss off, don't want you near this horrible dinosaur football, take it somewhere else. Now that Dash has gone, everyone's looking around going, you know what, Burnley, I want you to stay up now that you've started being a bit more expansive and actually playing football. The only person I think that's still whinging is probably Klopp. I mean, when is he not whinging about something?
This is very true. Very true. Hey, well, I've got to ask you this one as well. Do you think Xhaka was right to do that interview after the game and say what he said?
Nah.
You don't slate your teammates off, do you?
No.
He slated the whole
Ben
team.
Foster's done it. Ben Foster's done it with Watford, hasn't he? He said that, there's been some players that have died for the cause and some people that are lazy and stuff. So it's strange that it's come from Xhaka, though. This is a player that Arsenal were like, we're getting rid of you, piss off. And the next minute, he signed a new deal or he's staying at the club.
Yeah.
And it's just comical, is Arsenal. Absolutely comical.
It's great, isn't it?
Arteta, we'll give you a new contract because Champions League football's back at the Emirates. Hold my beer.
AFTV went off on it as well. It was fantastic. They were blood, fan. Oh, here, man, sit down, shut up.
That's what I call AFT now. AFT now is always fucking trauma. That's all it is. Yeah. That's what it stands for.
They get paid for it though, don't they? That's what
I think Arteta's done an unbelievable job with that squad, to be fair.
Exactly. I mean, everyone said they wouldn't get top 6.
No.
But the problem they've got is they overachieved, and then they've blown it when they overachieved, and that's why people are calling it a disaster.
They're expecting similar to Pep as well, because he'd been Pep's second man. They're expecting that similar sort of style. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think Arsenal would suit going back to what they did under George Graham, doing a very similar
1-0, 1-0.
Yeah, but hard fought. You know, okay, it might be boring, it might not be as expansive as they've wanted, but if it's going to get you points and it's going to get you up there fighting again, Atletico Madrid do it season in, season out in La Liga. They play defensively, so why can't Arsenal?
It's a very young squad, though, isn't it? That's the issue.
Yeah,
and I think
definitely.
to keep the squad together 1 or 2 years, they'll be definitely one to reckon.
Oh, they definitely will be eventually, but are they going to be able to track the big players when they're finishing 5th, 6th? Jesus apparently is still rumoured to still want to go there, which is a shame because I would love him at Newcastle, to be honest.
It'd be a great addition to Arsenal as well, to be fair, but unfortunately.
Yeah. Just another Brazilian, eh? Just
another one. Yeah, we're just trying to drive the Brazilian team, except the defence. You know, we can do without that.
I think we're in for about 6 this season.
Yeah, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, who's that guy from Lyon you've been linked with as well? Is it
Paqueta?
Lucas Paqueta.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Bruno's best mate. He's in Newcastle with his wife, looking at the bridges.
Taking photos of bridges. Time bridge.
It's brilliant. But they are best mates, and it was a baby shower or a birthday or something.
It was his wife's birthday. Bruno's wife's birthday.
Was it. There you go.
The whole places to come to is Newcastle.
I know. You would have thought he would fly.
He knows what he's doing.
Exactly. Right, we're near the end, so I'll just quickly flash this up again. And anyone who's watching for the first time, if you've enjoyed the chat, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button so you know when we're live, and hit that thumbs up button, please. The thumbs up is massive. If you don't want to donate to the channel or become a member, thumbs up is free, and it really does help the YouTube algorithm, so please consider that. But there is a chance to be a member if you want in the description below. You can click on the link, 99p, 199, 299. You pay what you think the channel deserves. And there's a chance of winning this next week. I'm giving this away. It's £40. The draw is only available to people who are a paying member. There's 126 people. Exactly, yeah. It's for £40 a badge. We've still got 6 or 7 to sell as well at £40. So if you want to buy one, please contact myself ASAP because they are going quite quickly. And if you want to donate, $ in the chat in the bottom right-hand corner, hit that. You know, it all goes back into the running of the channel, you know, paying for all the costs of all these beautiful things that you see. And it's not expected, but it's brilliant when people do. It's amazing, and it really does help. And then please, obviously, consider checking out Turf Morehouse's channel. At Turf Morehouse is his Twitter handle, and it's also your channel name as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It is, yeah. Please
go to his channel and subscribe. Great stuff. Especially when in the championship, he's going to need all the help he can get. Right, moving on to John's team.
I might have to set up an OnlyFans if we go down.
What, is that to pay Burnley's debt off?
Yeah, I'll have to start farting in jars and selling it.
Ed Sheeran farted in this jar. You'll sell millions. I love it. Right, come on, John. I had to have a bit of a slap talk with you this afternoon because you had Wood starting up front instead of Wilson, and I was like, "What the hell are you playing at?" So you changed it. Well done.
I'd like to see them both up front. To be fair, if we had nothing to play for, this 46, 49 point target, if we hadn't got that, I think he would have played 2 up front.
I would like to see 2 up front, but you only had Wood up front. You had Wilson on the bench, mate.
Yeah, because I thought
you forgot, didn't you?
No, I thought he'd rotate a little bit. But
not with 1 game to go.
49 points in it, so
yeah,
he'll go for it. But yeah, it's pretty much
start after Kraft.
Yeah, I think. I mean, Kraft's been, for me, the most improved player. I know Joe Linton's done well, but for me, Kraft's been the most improved player we've had by a long way. But I think he'll bring Trippier back. Trippier was also all like being assistant manager, wasn't he? The way he was coaching on touchline.
He loves it.
Yeah, I think Trippier. I mean, he gives us that extra edge with the free kicks. We missed that.
Yes,
I think
his quality on dead balls is definitely
and his corners, him and Target either side. Because Target was taking the right hand corners as well, wasn't he? But I think he gives us a lot in set moves. So I think he'll come back. Lascelles, obviously, because Shah's can't play, can't train.
Yeah.
Big Dan Burn to cope with Weghorst.
Yeah.
Target is undroppable, even if we
Yeah.
had someone to play against, but we haven't got anyone anyway.
I agree.
But he's undroppable at the minute. And then Big Joe, Bruno, and Longstaff. I mean, they deserve it, don't they? They deserve to stay on. I think the only change I've made is Fraser and Miggy. I don't think that's anything against Miggy because Miggy's played well. He was quieter against Arsenal than he's been the last few games, but I just think
I thought he was excellent against Arsenal. To be honest with you, always in the face, always harrying. You know, passes weren't misplaced. I thought he had a good game.
But I just think he's going to give Fraser a run out.
Yeah,
which is why I put Fraser in.
There's no harm in that. I mean, Fraser's back. When he came on, he made a difference as well. And
he did, yeah.
Almost scored. Well, he should have scored, really, because if Murphy played a better pass to him, Fraser would have run on and probably scored that. Instead, he gave it back to Murphy and he screwed it up, as he always does. Yeah. There's another player you can have from us. Do you want Murphy, mate?
There's a few we can have for us. Darlow.
We were linked. I think we were linked with Murphy, actually, in the summer.
Yeah.
But I think we've got to be looking at other players that I took Lascelles 2 or 3 years ago when he looked like he was promising, but now he's another player that for me seems to have dropped off it a little bit.
He'd be a good replacement for Tarkowski, though, wouldn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, any defender who sits at the side of Ben Mee is going to be turned into a world beater, in my opinion. I think I don't know what it is about Ben Mee, but he's an absolute machine. He's so underrated; it's unreal.
He is.
He's already said he don't want to go anywhere as well, hasn't he? Which is good for you.
Yeah, he's basically Mr. Burnley. He's that guy, and I can't blame him. I'm hoping and praying that we'll see news of him signing a new deal. I just think that it's so Burnley that we'll lose him due to Burnley trying to just say, well, now that you've been on the touchline, do you want to play a coach deal? Do you want? And he'll just be like, fuck off, I want to keep playing football. So, yeah, we will see. We'll see. I think it all depends on where we are come Sunday evening.
Yeah, I mean, if you do go down, if you do go down, I'm gonna do you a good swap, Corney for Murphy. I think that'd be a good swap.
Can we not have Miggy instead? Can we not have Almiron instead?
I don't think Miggy will play in the Championship, mate, but Murphy would. I think Murphy would, and I think he'll be good for any team in the Championship.
Well, when he went on loan to Sheff Wednesday, he was really
he scored loads of goals. Trust me, if you go down, he would be a good player for you guys to sign, because I don't think he's got a career at Newcastle now. He misses.
We've not really got anybody in terms of subs really for the wing as well. I mean, we've got Gudmundsson, but where's he? I think he's been out all season. I think he's played 1 or 2 games and then been out all season. So I actually forgot we had him.
He's quite old now as well, isn't he? He's getting on a bit.
Yeah, I think he's knocking on 31 now. So, and with all his injuries, he's practically glass ankles.
Cool. Right, let's go back to there's a good comment in here. Where is it? There it is. Apparently, we're 10 off 4,000. Well done. We're actually closer than that.
Yeah, 3 off, isn't it? Yeah.
We're 1 off.
A 1 off now, are we?
We're sitting on 3,999.
There's got to be someone out there. Someone out there.
Someone hit that button.
Watching. There's got to be someone out there.
Exactly. Someone's not watched before. Please hit that button for us. It's free. Do it. Just make my night.
You know full well someone's going to press it, and then they're just going to be like, but we don't want to give you that.
Yeah. I'll wake up tomorrow morning and be like 10 away again. It's happened so many times. It's so funny, but one of those things. How brings the best improving the players? Why not Longstaff? Another local lad as well. And exactly, local lads don't class towards your squad numbers either. So that's why it's a good deal to get done in my eyes. Weghorst beat Big Dan Burn. What a battle that will be. Battle of the Giants.
I doubt it. Dan Burn actually knows how to use his head. And as I've said a few times, Weghorst is the epitome of the film White Men Can't Jump. He's shit.
I thought it was a really good signing for you as well when you first
Loads of people did. Loads of people were so angry we didn't sign him.
Especially for half the price of Wood. Because he's good on his feet. You just can't.
The thing is, I'm just trying to look at it as he's a January signing, a good pre-season under his belt, and we might have a decent striker in come next season. But I think we need to play more to his strengths, like they did at Wolfsburg, than what we're doing at the moment.
True.
He'll tear it up in the Championship if he stays.
Oh yeah, I mean,
We're
he
not
probably
going
will stay
down,
as well,
John.
isn't he?
We're
He's
not going down.
Burnley will beat Villa, then lose to Newcastle. Leeds will beat Brentford, and Everton will lose their last two and get relegated. Aston Villa will hold Man City and Liverpool win the Prem. Jesus, get a bet on that. You'll be a millionaire if you put a quid on
knowing
that.
Nicky probably has.
He probably has, yeah. Someone put a tweet out. It was something like, I think it was Man City finish 5-5 and Liverpool
Man City's
win.
got to draw 5-5 and Liverpool's got to win 2-0 and all.
That's it. And then it goes to a super game.
Super game, yeah.
Yeah, between the two teams to win the league.
Because
Crazy.
it'll be joint across the goals for, goals against, goal difference, points, wins, draws, losers.
I can't see it 5-5.
Has that ever happened?
No, I
No,
don't think so.
never. But there's 5-5. There's not going to be 10 goals in that game.
No, definitely not.
And if there is going to be 10 goals, it'll be all to City.
1-1 end, yeah. It'll be 8-2 or something like that. I'll be chuffed when we see attacking force on that pitch this summer. Real threat to top teams. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. Yeah, thumbs up. As I say, we're 1 away. 1, not 10. 1. Wood for captain. Maybe for Burnley when he goes back there.
If Burnley lose, right, here's one for you. If Burnley lose against Villa, right, and you're pretty much down, there's nothing you can do. Would you hope then that Wood comes on and scores, 7 goals he needs or 6 goals he needs for you to get that extra 5 million or whatever it is?
Is that true? Is it?
I'd rather shit in my hands than clap.
Keep your 5 million.
Brilliant. They all started talking to each other again. Straight swap for Coney for Murphy, Richie Clark, Lewis Gale. That's not a bad idea, to be fair. Pretty fair. Would you take all them?
Well, why not? We've probably got one of the smaller squads in the Premiership at the minute, so it's an extra few players in the.
I think Richie would do well.
I wouldn't take Clark. He's going to the USA anyway, but Gale would do well if it's in the Championship. If it's in
Lewis
the Premier League,
Lewis would do really well. I mean, I want to keep Lewis deep down. I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's been given much of a chance.
Let Eddie Howe work with him.
If
you can do it with Kraft, I mean, for me, Lewis was 10 times the player Kraft at the beginning of the season. So
4,000.
Hey!
Someone's hit the button. And
you know what? It's bloody well deserved as well, Baz. Bloody well deserved.
It's Ben me. Cheers, Ben.
Yeah. He's watching. Aaron Lennon's a bit of a strange one, isn't he? I was a bit surprised he went to you guys because I thought, well, he's a fast winger who likes to run with the ball, doesn't like to lump it. You know, maybe Burnley were trying to change the style of play, but he's sort of in and out of the team, isn't he?
He's in his second spell now at us as well because he came to us from Everton and it went all right. You know, it was steady away, and then played in Europe with us, and then went on to somewhere in Turkey anyway. He'd gone to and then he's come back to us for some reason. I think it were more to do with Dash and his friendship there, but yeah, he's actually been one of our standouts in the big games anyway. In terms of big games, he's actually been pretty decent. So he's still, as much as he's still knocking about, he's still putting in the performance levels as well, which you can't fault.
Feels like he's like 50 because he's been around that long, doesn't he? He's like one of those players that when you were younger,
it'll be a quiz question that next season. Who's older, Alan McGregor of Rangers or Aaron Lennon of Burnley?
I wouldn't like to think which one it is.
It's Aaron McGregor by about 9 years.
Nick, this is why Nick's so involved in what he said before. Liverpool quadruple and Everton relegated. I get £500. Newcastle finished top half. I get £100. So
hey, I got £100. I cashed out.
He's praying. Yeah, but he will probably only put a quid on it where you put a tenner on it. So the cash out's different, isn't it? Would Pickford lose England #1 spot if he got relegated? That's a good question because Southgate is very loyal to his players, isn't he?
He's been their best player. That's the only reason why.
Yeah, that as well.
I don't think he'll stay at Everton. I think he'd get a move. I think the fact that Chelsea have been talking about wanting to get a bit of an English contingency going there.
Really?
So it wouldn't surprise me if he goes somewhere like there. Spurs, maybe.
Well,
if
Spurs Chelsea need a backup keeper, don't they? Because they're both about 50 as well. The backup keeper.
Well, yeah, and plus I think Chelsea are on about getting rid of Kepa, so
Right.
it frees up a space there as well.
Yeah.
It's Man City and Spurs, not Chelsea and Spurs. Sorry. Yeah. Man City's got Scott Carson, haven't they?
Carl says, well done. Thanks, Carl.
Dream team.
He should losing the #1 spot anyway is a part of shite, says Nick.
I say he's been their best player, and when he played for us in them 2 tournaments, he was one of England's best players as well. As much as I hate him,
his distribution is second to none, to be fair. And if he wasn't a Mackham, I'd have him at Newcastle. But he is a Mackham.
I
he
wouldn't
is a
have him
twat.
at Newcastle because just his little arms.
He's got little hands. But you
you
would if you put those performances in and he wasn't a Mackham, you would take him. It's a simple.
He couldn't even hold a flag up in the stand, let alone touch his crossbar.
It is 0-0 in the final at half time. Did I share on we liked Pickford? I don't get that one. Did I hear, we like Pickford? We like Pickford in an England shirt because you got to, because he's playing for England.
A little bit.
Yeah. You know, we're still despise him.
I don't like Henderson, though. Even in an English shirt, I think he's woeful. If he played as good for England as he did for Liverpool, we'd be all right, but he doesn't. He's just, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Let's drop this one. Good luck to Burnley. Another great show, lads, and quality guests. Take care, lads. Thanks, John.
Cheers, John.
Just to say, Johnny, no, we don't do anything but Toon Review anymore. We've gone our separate ways for many reasons. But I like to do my own thing now. I'm trying to concentrate on myself for a change, which is something I've not done for a long time.
What do you mean for a change?
Hey, you cheeky git. I'm always worried about everybody else. That's the problem. What's this one? Be it to turn off spell check.
I think he means need to turn off spell check.
It is, yeah. Could never bet on Liverpool to win a quadruple. I mean, I would never have even thought about that at the start of the season anyway, to be honest with you. It's not the kind of bet I would look for, but because it's so I don't think anyone's ever done the quadruple, have they? Ever?
No.
So it's just not even something I would have considered looking at, to be honest with you. The treble's just as good, but I wouldn't have even expected them to get a treble this season, to be honest with you, with Man City. So you, John. Joey Bill says, great show, lads, but sorry, can't see Burnley getting anything tomorrow or Sunday. Oh, Jordy Bill. He's in the doghouse now. He's in the doghouse, isn't he? I'd
like to say it's the beer that's just put an absolute pain in my chest, but it's not. It's your comments. Cheers, Bill. Thanks for that.
I love it. Right, last 6 games. You've done all right, to be fair. You pulled up some results that nobody really expected, or did expect. I mean, I expected you to beat Watford because they're just so poor. Home to Wolves, though, that was a big result. I expected better from Wolves. Beating Southampton, again, not a bad team. Drawn with West Ham, that was an amazing point. But then, obviously, the 2 defeats. Villa wasn't great. I wasn't expecting that at all.
No, I wasn't. I expected you to beat them.
I did. And then the Spurs one, to be honest with you, I expected you to get beat 3 or 4-0, just like we did as well, because they're a very, expertly team going forward with Son and Kane and all them lot. But that's good form going into it. You've got to feel a little bit of confidence thinking we do have the form. Yes, we've lost the last 2, but, you can forget about the Spurs result. You did play well. You've got to think positive. You're going into Villa Park. They're not exactly the greatest team this season either. They're very up and down. Some players turn up when they want to. You can cause an upset.
Oh, yeah. I mean, as you can see from the camera, unless Burnley stay up, I can't put the electric on. But no, to be fair, I just think...
in the
stadium? It's been decent these last couple of games. I expected something more against Villa, as you said. We should have done something in that game massively, and our arses fell out. I mean, I go back to that Norwich game as well. We did the hard work. We beat Everton 3-2. We're 1-0 up, then we're 2-1 down, and then we'd not come back in a game all season, and we managed to win 3-2. And then it's almost like the mentality of the team was, let's the Norwich game will take care of itself. We beat Everton, that's it. It's going to happen, and it didn't. We got our arses handed to us. So nothing's concrete in football, and I think that's what sometimes you've got to realise.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Tomorrow will be all right. As I say, must not lose. So I will take a point tomorrow. I'm not even so fussed if it's a point on the final day. I just don't think, because it then still puts us a point. I just can't see Leeds getting anything.
No, I can't.
I can't see Leeds getting anything against Brentford, especially when their manager comes out and says that the difference between the position they're in now and where they could go is like an extra 15 million.
Yeah.
And says that he doesn't plan to put out a B team. For me, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. And for that, 15 million is a lot of money for a small club like Brentford. It's the first time in the Premiership they want to put a stamp down.
Massively.
Carl, I'm not classing Celtic because it's Scottish, mate. We're talking about English.
But the Iron Brew Cup doesn't count. I mean, that's like the Charity Shield.
Exactly. So I'm not classing that. Sorry, mate, but good knowledge.
It's up there with winning a pub quiz, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
It was the first Champions League as well. That wasn't 6.
Was it? Wow.
Celtic are the first Champions League winners.
That is a good quiz question.
I
think Liverpool were a disgrace for booing the national anthem. I don't think they were booing the national anthem. They were booing the person singing the national anthem because they're a Manchester United fan. So people need to it is bad, but they need to understand the reasoning behind it. So if it was a Mackham singing the national anthem when we were at Wembley,
we wouldn't boo it though, would we? I wouldn't boo it anyway.
I probably wouldn't boo it, but I don't think I want to listen to a Mackham sing, to be honest with you. But
I might have booed him afterwards.
Yeah, the only one thing I disagree with is probably when they say we're not English, we're Scouse.
Oh god!
I'm just like that's just when it gets political. They say we're not English, we're Scouse, but then they're like, oh, Eurovision, we finished second.
Yeah.
Take a hike, you chancy bastard.
I love it. We're doing better than we all expected. Thankfully, that's so true. Villa was a disappointment.
It was. I thought if you'd won that, you'd have kicked on. But
yeah, I agree. I once put a bet on with Caitlin for £20 that I wouldn't put a bet on. Obviously, I lost that bet. Definitely want Burnley to stay up. I think we all do.
Yeah, we all do. We all want Everton to go down, but
exactly. And Spurs handed the win out of all controversial VR decisions this season. I don't think any have gone against the Big Sis disgrace. Loads of them went for Liverpool, haven't they? But it seems to be a lot of Liverpool refs in the VAR van.
As I've been saying to everyone, he's Kevin, friend.
Friend. VAR friend. Scout friend.
Spurs friend.
Rat eaters. That's a bit harsh, Davey. Even all good work, buddy. Thanks, Rob. Everyone check out Rob's channel as well. Great channel. He goes on walks into the countryside and all that sort of stuff and videos. It's good stuff. And please check out Side Rule Pass. That's another one of my mates' channel. They're really, really good. If you get the chance to look at it. Very quickly, we'll talk about Newcastle's form before we go because it's obviously important. We won 3, then lost 2, and then beat Arsenal.
But those two were Man City and
Liverpool, exactly. So I mean, I was sort of half expecting maybe a draw if we were lucky against Liverpool. I wasn't expecting anything against City. But Liverpool, we didn't even land a glove. City, we had 3 big chances and couldn't put them away and got beat heavily. But the Arsenal game was just absolutely fantastic. So the form is kind of with us a little bit because we've won 4, lost 2, where you've won 3, drawn 1, lost 2. So we're a little bit ahead of you on the form. But going into the last game, if you've got everything riding on it, I can see you guys coming out and really trying to put us to the sword. So
I just thought that when I saw those images of Amanda Staveley speaking to Anton Deck, I'm hoping she was saying, listen, we'll get you a kit sorted. I've already spoken to Jimmy Nail as well. Don't worry. We're going to put the 3 of you in midfield.
Brilliant.
And then that's it. We've put the world to rights. Keep Burnley up and
they'd actually play as well. They'd do it.
They would. Yeah.
They probably would. They would love it. It would be one of those. They might just do. What do they do on that Saturday night takeaway where they dress themselves up?
Yeah.
One of them would disguise himself as Bruno, and one of them would disguise himself as Joe Linton. That would be funny. That would be funny. This is an interesting one. Very quickly before we go, what do you think of the 20 million price tag for Dele Alli?
It's 20 million profit if he goes for that for Everton, isn't it? He hasn't even started a game for them.
No, he hasn't. No, and
Hasn't
I
started a game.
wonder if that's because of the 40 million add-ons that they would have to pay if he did.
Well,
It's a
it was
very
0
strange
up front,
one, isn't
wasn't
it?
it? And I don't know. It's just hasn't played a single game. But then
He's come on a few
Donny
times,
hasn't
but
played
that's
that
it.
many either, has he?
No, he hasn't.
For me, Dele Alli's just dropped off. You know, he came into Spurs. He started all right. Everyone were like, "Whoa, shit!" Like this guy's come from some franchise football club,
Milton
and obviously actually can play football. And then all of a sudden, he's become some sort of Fortnite player who wants to do all his shit online, who then play football. 20 million is bollocks. I wouldn't even pay the steam off my piss. I really wouldn't.
We could have had him for 2.5 million as well.
I
He was
know.
talking to us before he went to Spurs.
That'd have been
That's
2.5 million
when-
loss.
That's
no,
when he
that
was good, though.
That was when he was
That's
good.
when he was scoring for England and
Oh, well.
playing top of his game.
True. What could have been?
TikToker, don't want him. No one wants him at Newcastle. It's just that apparently that's what's come
It's
out.
his attitude, isn't it? It's his attitude. That's the issue with it.
Exactly. If it comes down to Burnley needing a result to stay up, I'd be fine with losing the game. Which rather they stay up than Everton and Leeds, who should never have sacked Bielsa. Ooh, I disagree with that one on sacking Bielsa. They definitely should have. His stubbornness was going to take them down.
If they go down anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? But,
Well, exactly. But it's his fault their goal difference is absolutely shocking because you went to places like Stamford Bridge, Old Trafford, the Etihad, and Anfield thinking they could go toe-to-toe with them and then get thrashed. He was a bit silly. He was a very, very silly man. But yeah, I hope you stay up. I really do. It's so tight at the bottom of that league. It's going to be very, very interesting. It's more interesting than the top of the league and who's going to finish in the top four. The bottom is where the action is on Sunday. So
tomorrow first. I just hope you beat Villa tomorrow.
Yeah, if you beat Villa tomorrow, you're massively in the driving seat. Even if you get a point, you're in the driving seat.
Well, I'm doing a watch along for the game tomorrow, so I'll either be crying or trying to hold myself together. I'm doing a watch along for the final day. I've managed to get a Leeds fan who's going to come on and watch the Brentford Leeds game while I watch the Burnley Newcastle game.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Sort of.
Trying to get a ticket for Turf Moor on the final day was like rocking horse shit. You just couldn't find one for love nor money. So
I had one, but I had to give it away because I'm working.
I'm at work as well. I'm absolutely gutted, devastated. I'm at work. Very quickly, another question came in there. If it's more for us, I think this one. What about Rashford? I would take Rashford.
Yeah, I think so. I think he needs an arm around him, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he's worth the gamble.
But he's a bit of a gamble, isn't he? But
yeah, a gamble, but I think he's worth the gamble. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
Very, very interesting, that one. Is Tarkowski good enough for us? Being unsure whether I've watched this season. He's been playing pretty well recently, hasn't he? Now that it got it all sorted out in January, he was definitely staying. There was too much going on then, and that was obviously affecting him. But since all that's been closed and he's leaving, he's got his head down and he's been brilliant for you the last few games.
I couldn't have said it any better. He's had since the beginning of the season, he's had a mistake in him every probably 1 or 2 games. But as soon as January finished, and he thought, right, shit, I'm stuck here for another bit of the season yet. Better start lacing my boots up and playing some football. Otherwise, I'm not going to get a good move. And he has, and I can't fault him. And if he does play, if he is back fit and playing on the final day of the season, then it may well be the last time we see him in a Burnley shirt, but we wish him well no matter where he goes. And I'm sure if he does go to you guys, West Ham, Leicester, whoever wants him, I think he'll do well wherever.
I heard he's not playing because he can't play against his parent club.
You fly dog, John. You fly dog.
Davey, I think Tarkowski's better than Lascelles, to be honest with you. The way Lascelles has played this full season, and I think he could be off, and I think Tarkowski's his replacement because he's free, and it's not going to muck around with FFP at all, to be honest with you. So.
Definitely better than Clark, that's for sure.
And Clark and Fernandez is off as well, so there's potentially 3 centre-backs leaving us with only 3, with Sharburn and...
the one question, though, I think Ben Mee makes Tarkowski look better than he is.
I think we said that earlier on, didn't we? Ben Mee's definitely the better centre-back.
The only thing I'd question it on is that recently, while he's been sort of a standing captain playing alongside Nathan Collins, I don't know. I've sort of questioned it. Like, has Ben Mee made him look better, or has he been a bit more? I don't know. For me, Nathan Collins, we've got a ready-made replacement there when Tarky goes. Anyway, we've got a 20-year-old Irish player who's been absolutely solid. He's another player that I can see probably Burnley keeping for another 2 or 3 years, and then probably going on to a bigger and better thing. So, but I don't want Burnley to be that. I don't want Burnley to be that stepping stone club where you think, right, now I need to go further. You're a Premier League team for now.
That's what we used to do.
While you're there, you're in the best league possible. So you should be happy that you're at that level. Okay, unless it's one of the top 6 that come sniffing, I can understand your head being turned. But yeah, either way, I think you'll be getting a good player if Tarky does come to you. I can't blame him if he does.
Yeah. Last couple of comments very quickly there. Personally, I think apart from maybe Bruno's mate, would be completely shocked in the transfer window in a good way. I mean, anything could happen, couldn't it? Stevie Wonder's better than Clark. Fantastic. And congratulations on 4K, Vas. Thanks, Foxy. I'm not going to celebrate it too much until we get a little bit further over 4K, because when he's sitting just on 4K, anything could happen. But thank you to everyone who has stuck by this channel and has subscribed. We really appreciate it. It means a lot to us. And on that note, please hit that button, hit the bell button, hit the thumbs up button. That's a massive one for us as well. Consider becoming a member. You don't have to. It is a complete option. But we do give away prizes like this beautiful sign. It's going to be given away next week. You don't want this, mate. Unless you want to change alliance when you go down.
It's like shooting stars, isn't it?
It is, yeah. From above. The prize from above. I love it. Yeah, but in the description, please consider becoming a member. I'll quickly shout out some of the sponsors. Glenn Middis, Coastal Carpentry and Joinery. Amazing work that he does in the Northeast. Quote him for a no obligation quote. And then Liam's A Dog's Day Out. If you want to get your dog walked and you can't do it as much as you would like, he's started up a new business. He's absolutely brilliant, loves dogs. He'll come and meet your dog to make sure you're happy with him and that the dog gets on with him. And then you can start a business with him. He's absolutely fantastic again. Brian says, great show. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. And please check out Turf Morehouse's channel. It's called Turf Morehouse. It's also his Twitter handle. Have a little watch tomorrow night when he's doing his live watch along and join in with the chat, because he's great banter, as you can tell from tonight. We've always loved having him on. You will be still invited to Tuesday nights, because it won't be the Premier League roundup anymore.
Yeah. So
it's going to change to a Super 6 competition show. Ooh. So it's going to be £1 a man, because I'm hoping we're going to get a lot of people involved. First, second, and third prizes, but not all the pot will be used for first, second, and third. I'm going to do random shootouts on weekends as well, on certain weekends. So one weekend I'll just message out, say, right, whoever gets the highest points this weekend wins 25 quid or 50 quid or something like that, depending on what the pot is. And we're going to do a show every Tuesday night talking about the results of the Super 6 and then predicting live our Super 6s as well, and talking about the game. So that's what Tuesday night is going to become. So you will still be more than welcome to come on that, because as we all know, the championship is always in Super 6. So
we're not going to be there, Baz.
You're not going to be there. You're not going to be there. I know you're not going to be there. But yes, if you do, unfortunately, go down, you are still welcome back as always. But thanks for coming on.
Told me about the show to start with, I thought he meant it was a top 6 show. I was like, you're getting your head yourself a bit there, Baz.
Well, you never know, John. I mean, look at it. Leicester had a great escape and went on and won the league the season after.
Yeah. They did.
Just saying.
You own us, yeah.
I just can't see it happening, but I would love it to happen.
That's why it's dark. That's why it's dark. This is all a dream.
Yeah. I love it. Just so you know as well, I will be back with an inside scoop tomorrow. I've been given some more information from one of the lads as a new name, a new player linked, a few extra info on players that we've already discussed as well. So keep an eye out for that. I'll try and get it done for the afternoon, but it just depends on the kids. But I've enjoyed tonight. Thanks for coming on, everyone, as always. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Thanks to the mods. You've done a great job. And we will see you, it's going to be next week now because of work. So Tuesday night with John, he will be doing the Premier League review. And hopefully everyone, the last one ever, and then it's going to change to the Super 6 fun show, which will
Well,
be
count me in for Tuesday.
absolute blast. Yes. Just don't cry too much.
I'll try
Or
not
you'll
to.
be literally
happy
crying
tears.
with joy as
There'll
well.
be happy tears.
Exactly. You'll be drinking as well. Yes, I love it.
Oh.
I love it. Right. Thanks, guys. See you again very soon.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.